back to the Fermented World channel. Today we are going to do a wild ferment, which means we're not using any yeast. Well, we are using yeast, but we're not using yeast out of a packet. We're going to be relying on natural airborne yeasts that are on these fruits. Now this is sloe berries, which I've picked from literally the field just down there, growing in the hedgerow. And I've double checked it, made sure that they are sloe berries and not other things, because if you can't identify something, you really shouldn't be picking it and trying to consume it, because that shit will kill you. That's a very quick way of ending up in hospital. So yeah, we're going to be doing a sloe mead. So I need to kind of think my way through this, because I haven't done a wild ferment before. So it might work, it might not work, but it's an experiment, so we're going to see. I'm using blossom honey, and I'm going to be using some hot water. Now, note, the hot water is going in now, so that we can add the honey to it to let it go out. If we put the sloe berries in now, the heat will kill any of the natural yeast that's on there. These were bagged yesterday. Not yesterday, sorry, bagged. Yeah, yesterday. Might have been yesterday. Who bloody knows? Anyway, they were bagged, put in the freezer overnight. And then that breaks down the cell walls, making it a lot easier for the fermentation to get all of the loveliness out of the fruit. So in goes one lot of honey. We're doing a full strength mead today, so we're looking for about 14%. If I can catch it just before, that'll be perfect, because I want to keep some residual sweetness just to see what it's like with the sloe berries, because the sloe berries are really like bitter, sour, tart flavour. They're very intense. If you put one in your mouth and just move it around in your mouth, you'll soon spit it back out, because they're very intense, and they have like a tannins kind of feel to them. As soon as you put one in your mouth, it feels like all of the moisture in your mouth has been removed. It's quite bizarre. It's funny, a friend of mine, he was out riding years ago, and we'd stopped because someone had got a puncture. And he's like, "Here, Gaz, try one of these." I was like, "What is it?" It's like, "It's a sloe berry." And I knew nothing about sloe berries or anything. And I put it in my mouth. I was like, "You sure you can eat this?" He's like, yeah. He says, "We make gin with it." I was like, "Okay." So put it in my mouth, and oh my God, it was like nothing I had ever experienced before in my life. Like I could taste it for hours after as well. No matter how much water I drank, it was just still there. It was horrible. Not horrible, but it was, the flavour was nice, but it was the experience of it that was a bit flipping random. Hot water in there to get the last bits of residuals out of here. And then we tip that into the other one. And then we shake that as well. And that clears all of the honey out of there. Then we're going to blend this together. Now there's probably too much hot water in here. We're going to go for a gallon batch. So 4.5 litres ish. And actually no, I'm going to do 4 litres, because we're going to be putting berries in. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop being indecisive, and I'm going to decide later, instead of just chatting complete cod. Right, so we're mixing it in. With the hot water in there, it blends in so easily. It's unbelievable. Trying to mix honey into cold water or lukewarm water is very difficult. That's literally dissolved already. Fully dissolved. Which is good. Saves that a little bit of time. So now we're going to top this up with some cold water. I'll be back. So that's pretty much the 4 litre mark. That's pretty cool actually, because I do want to see what we do, what it does when we put those berries in. good idea to oxygenate, give the yeast a fighting start, and I'm actually going to add a very small amount of yeast nutrients. I did Google this. A lot of people have said with ciders and stuff like that, it's always a good idea to have a little bit in there. So I'm going to try and find, oh, it might be over there actually. Ta-da! So it's meant to be half a teaspoon per gallon. So I'm going to do not even half of a half. So a teensy amount in there. Do you know what? Sorry. I'm going to go for the amount that it's supposed to have. What's the worst that could happen? It's going to need every bit of help it can get. We put yeast nutrients in meads because honey doesn't have a great deal of nutrients, if any, to be fair. It is void of them. So we need some extras in there to help boost the yeast. And because we're using a wild yeast, we want to give it the best start possible. Now they were washed, but I say washed, they were just submerged in a bowl of water and I literally just ran my finger around it just to get any bugs off or anything like that. What are we doing next? It needs to go into the demijohn, doesn't it? But first we're going to take a hydrometer reading to see what fermentables we've got. It should be about the 100 mark. 1.100. That's normally what I get, roughly, from 2 tubs of the honey. So we've got 1.110. So we've got 110. 110, okay. We'll write that down after. Yeah, always make notes as well, because if you do a particularly good mead and you want to re-brew it, you're going to struggle to remember what you did a year or 2 down the line. So always make notes. I've got a little book here. Keep all my notes in for beers, mead, ciders, whatever I brew. Yeah. So give it a bit more of a mix. It looks like them yeast nutrients aren't actually blended in there. Like so. And then we're going to get the demijohn. And we are going to... All this stuff's been sterilised, by the way. So it's safe to use. Anything that comes in contact, make sure you sterilise it, or you can get bad bacteria in there called acetobacters, and it will just turn your alcohol to vinegar. It's not good. Fruit flies harbour the bacteria as well as other nasties, so just be cautious. Clean everything. Wash it with soap first in the sink, washing up liquid, and then sterilise it with a sanitizer as well. Brewing sanitizer, or any that says it's suitable for brewing, really. Normally I speed this up, but you'll have to listen to me chat crap instead. And this is oxygenating it as it goes in there as well, which is always good. So that's that. We're done with that. We know what the hydrometer reading is, and oh, that's why it's at 110. It's because we don't have the extra litre of water, which I think I'm going to add. I actually think I'm going to add it because that does look rather low, doesn't it? Well, it's only half a litre, so let's add it. Let's see if we add it. Yeah. And then we'll have to take another hydrometer reading, of course, because it would have changed. It would have diluted it more. Now we are going to take another hydrometer. But first we need to mix that. Make sure that it's all that fresh new water's that's been put in is all mixed in. Perfect. Then we take the hydrometer. Now it should say about 100. Where it was 110 because we had a litre less, sorry, half a litre less water. And obviously the more you dilute it, the less concentrated it is. Why is it always round the wrong bloody way? $98. 1.098 for the original gravity. Write it there. I've got it and I don't have to fanny around doing that. So and I can go back in because this has all been sanitised, of course. And now we add the fruit, which, with a bit of luck, has got the yeast in. Or on, sorry. Let's hope so. And in they go. Not sure if this will give it any colour. I have got a bit of colour coming off onto my hands. Like a, ooh. I want that. There's no juice per se for these berries either. It seems like they're kind of juiceless, but there's something in them, of course. I'm not sure whether I should have crushed them or whether you just put them in whole. I really don't know. Probably should have checked out how they did it for gin, because these are the berries that they put in a gin to make it a slow gin. Spelled S-L-O-E, and oh crap, that one's gone somewhere. So there was approximately, until I dropped one, 165 grams. And to be honest, I might have put it in a little bit, temperature's a bit too high maybe. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what temperatures wild yeasts can withstand. Then again, if it's 26 during the summer, it's going to be, yeah, be alright. We'll see. We shall see what happens. Worst comes to worst, we bang some yeast in. If it comes to it, that is what we'll do. Righto, so now it's literally just airlock and leave it. I expect it to take a good couple of days for it to start any type of fermenting. And yeah, it's just going to be left to brew if it so wants to. We'll see. Only time will tell. That's a slow mead. Really, really easy. Mead is so simple to brew. Honey, water, yeast. Mix it all together. Happy days. about 7 days normally for a yeast, for a mead. The yeast would have just got through all of the sugars by then. I've got 2 there that I need to sort out. You can leave them longer, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to take away any more sugars than it's got. So yeah, they're tomorrow's job. Or maybe I might even get it done today. Don't know what time it is. Day's just gone. Okay, so yeah, sloe mead. Wild ferment. We'll see. Take it easy and I'll see you soon. Okay, well, you thought the video was ended. I thought it was ended. I've just been sat there thinking through what I've done, editing the video and stuff like that. And I've realised that I put in fermentation stoppers instead of flipping yeast nutrients. So, this is essentially bollocks. The only thing that I can do is pitch some yeast now and hope that it works. I mean, there is nothing else I can do other than throw it away, which I'm not willing to do. So I'm going to try and save it. Whether we save it or not will be determined in the next 24 hours to 48 hours. 2 days time. If it hasn't kicked up, then it's knackered. There's nothing I can do because I've put an agent in it that stops fermentations. So yeah, might as well waste another £2 to see whether we can get a bloody drinkable beverage out of it. I'm so flipping annoyed. So flipping annoyed. Words cannot describe how annoyed I am. Maybe loads of banging and throwing stuff around will help. Yeah. There's a bloody thing! Right, so it's no longer going to be a wild ferment because we're going to have to pitch yeast because it's not going to be able to do anything, that's for sure. Yeah, unfortunately. So just going to wait for this yeast to warm up a little bit to room temperature and then we shall start. So what we're going to do is we're literally just going to whack some flipping yeast in this and cross our fingers. Really sorry that it ballsed up what could have been something really flipping good. I'm gonna have to go pick some more berries and do a flipping another sloe berry mead. I just hope it's nice. Oh, what a waste. Yeah, I'm annoyed. I'm gonna go throw some more things around. Things like that, I mean, because I'm a man-child. Right then, I think it's time for a beer. Absolute bastard. Do you know what? I'm just going to whack the yeast in now. Sod it. It can wake up and get its bloody job done. It'll either work or it flipping won't. One way or another, we are going to find out. As I say, I normally use half a pack because I'm tight and it doesn't need a full pack. But this time I'm using a full pack for the simple fact that I ballsed up. And yeah. My own stupidity, I should have read the label. I should have known that that was the stoppers because the stoppers are in a smaller thing. Ah, bugger me. Absolute nightmare. No one to blame but myself though. That's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you screw up. But I'll show you the highs and lows. I'll show you that I screwed up and then make you not screw up, hopefully. Hopefully that's how it would work. absolute bum stains. There will be more swearing, more profanity swearing off camera. I'm bloody annoyed. Right, so we banged some yeast in it. Hopefully there's enough yeast there for it to counteract the, and I actually need to put some yeast nutrients in. Would be great, wouldn't it? And now I need the full amount of yeast nutrients because it is the needed. Can't believe I did that, man. What a tard. Right, so that's got that in now. Mix it up again, get those yeast nutrients in there. We'll be lucky if this ferments, to be honest. I have another plan of what I could do with it if needs be. I don't want to do that, but I do have a trick up my sleeve which could possibly help us get this fermented. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm not too bothered about it now. There we go. A bit more oxygen in there. Lid on. Raggy band over the top, as always. These airlocks are really old. This, like I say before, this kit used to be my mum's, so it is super old kit, and sometimes these don't sit on very well once the air starts coming through. So yeah, there we go. Possibly a failure before it's even begun. Now I'm going to go and drink some beer and be happy. Right, this time I am going, and I'm definitely going to open a beer. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, it doesn't ferment. We lose some ingredients, we try again. 24 hours later, we have a result and we are fermenting. Now it's hard to know which yeast it is that's fermenting it. Highly likely that it's the mead yeast, because any dominant strain that's got more of a foothold would take over. And yeah, so it's just a slow mead. Unfortunately, it's not a wild ferment, and we're gonna have to revisit this another time. Hopefully very shortly, because the berries will all be going.